So we'll run through some of the standards on this current sweat finisher, which is the functional fitness assessments. There are 3 of them that we are going to run through: the dead hang, the functional get up, and single leg balance. Some of them, i.e. the functional get up, have a little bit more to keep in mind and to learn and pay attention to. Dead hang is pretty straightforward, and single leg balance is the most straightforward of the bunch. So let's get to it. All right, so the first of these functional assessments is the dead hang, which is as straightforward as it sounds. You are hanging from the bar as long as you possibly can. In terms of standards, you want to make sure that it is an overhang grip. That's one of the few that apply, meaning palms are away from you. Whether you close the grip with your thumbs or not is up to you, but you can't do an alternating grip, you can't do a reverse grip. The timer will start the moment the last foot leaves the platform, because you may want to step off in a staggered way, like one foot then the other, to prevent the swing, because that can interfere with your time. That can make it harder. And it is important to note that the timer stops the moment one of your hands or both your hands releases. So obviously, if you let go and drop, the timer stops. But if you adjust your grip, if you're hanging and you do one of these, the second that hand moved to let go, then it would have been the assessment would have been over. So remember, the moment your hands release, whether it's for a split second as you adjust your grip or fully to let yourself down, timer stops. All right, so with the functional get up, the idea is getting from standing to the ground on your back, over to your stomach, back up, without using momentum, without putting your hand or forearm down, and without putting your knee down. All right? Every time you do one of those things, there is one mark. So if you get all the way down, all the way up, and just put your knee down one time, then that would be 1 point. You want to do it with as few points as possible, and see if you can do it with 0. So a perfect 0 would look like this. Down to the ground. All right, legs out, down to my back, arms are overhead. I'm gonna bring myself across onto my stomach. I'm gonna bring myself back. Now, this is important. If you use your hand to come back, so if you go like this and push yourself back, that's a point. If you push yourself through your knee, that's a point. So what I'm doing, bringing my leg over and rolling back. This is another key point. You have to come back up without using momentum. So throwing your arms over like that to come up is considered momentum. Even if you have your hands here, if you bring yourself up like that, that's using momentum. So ideally, legs straight, arms crossed, do it to a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. There's no momentum there. All right, now the idea is get back up without putting your hand, forearm, knee down, and voila. That was a 0 points against functional get up. Okay, single leg balance. Pretty straightforward. There's not a lot to have to instruct on this one. Timer starts when one foot lifts. Timer stops as soon as that foot touches the ground again, whether it's lightly touches or fully puts your weight down. That's when the timer stops. We don't really care what's going on with the rest of your body, like if you're moving your hands to try and keep your balance, because the truth is if there's too much movement, you're going to throw your balance off anyway. Okay. Ideally, you're pretty much the same time left to right, and if you get a minute, then you can just stop, because that's more than enough time. So that's it. That's our functional sweat finisher. If you don't do it during your session or while you're in here, let us know how it goes. Hold yourself to the strict standard to make sure that you're on the same playing ground with everybody else. And yeah, as always, train smart, train hard, keep fit, Have fun.